Hey everyone, Brandon here from Poindexter with another update on our startup journey. This is episode number 5 in the series already. Can't believe it. It's just time flies, I guess, when you're starting a company. And the reason we're doing this is because we feel there's a lack of content available on the internet with regard to what it's like working at a company that is still pretty much at the ground level and hasn't achieved a notable degree of success yet, and what the challenges are that we face and hurdles that we overcome, and how we face those things, how we overcome those things, in the hope that it'll help others facing the same issues. So this week we've been quite busy, and we have actually received some feedback from some of the universities that we partnered with early on. So we had some courses that just came to a close this past semester, both at the undergraduate and graduate level, which is exciting. And the feedback so far that we've gotten is good, is positive, and it confirms some of the things that we believe that, or we knew would be an issue, especially for earlier people that haven't been through and starting their own business yet. Some of the terminology and data that they need is a hurdle for them, and we knew that was going to be a bit of a problem. But aside from that, those are steps that things that we can solve. But aside from that, it's been pretty positive overall. We also had some UX issues that we've overcome with regard to, we're rolling out a new business model here shortly, which is very exciting for us. And the complexity involved with where we are today to where we're going to go is it's definitely increased or enhanced, and so there was some issues there that we've had to solve. And then also we've been working with some mentors or consultants, I guess you can say, but we don't pay them. I guess mentors might be the right term, and they actually think that we should be targeting a different target market than what we've been doing. And so they think that we have a pretty strong value proposition for an enterprise level sale, which is something that would completely, again, just another thing that as a startup, it's, before you have anything figured out, it could change our entire business model going forward, or that would change our sales structure and the way that we grow the company, and the sales cycles and the deal sizes, of course, that we'd be utilizing to grow the company. So yeah, it's promising. It seems cool. They seem to be pretty convinced that it would be a viable path forward for us, and so we produced some materials for them to go present to some of their contacts and see if they might be interested. So that'll be interesting to see whether any of that pans out. I'll keep you all, of course, updated as we go through and, step by step, see what happens, I guess, for lack of a better term. So as far as what we learned this week, so we did do a little deeper dive into the metrics that we talked about last week. And those metrics being around, we did a website redesign a couple weeks ago. We did see a decrease, or a seeming decrease, in conversion from the people that land on the site for the first time and then sign up for our product. Crappy. So we did confirm that happened. That decrease in conversion happened. So and why am I laughing? This seems not like something you'd laugh about. Well, I guess you can't take everything in life so seriously. But nonetheless, I'm pulling up the data right now. It looks like we did have a decrease of about 28% in the conversion rate from the people that sign, or the people that land to sign up. And that's pretty sizable. So I'll just tell you, it went from 16.6% of new users landing on the site to successfully signing up to 12%. And that is a 28% decrease. It might not sound a lot or like a lot when you say it in terms of absolute terms of, from 16 to 12%, but it's something to raise red flags and, set the alarm bells off, or whatever you want to say. And so it's disconcerting, and we have some ideas on how we can possibly reconfigure a few things to get that back up. But right now, that seems to be what we're dealing with. On a side note, though, the engagement is going through the roof. So as far as what's happening there, it raises a whole bunch of other questions. So what I'm looking at right now is the engagement data, where we set certain. So every time we have these custom events that we set up, right? So these custom events are built in a way that we think that every time somebody completes each step, they are more likely to become a longer-term customer. And so the people actually completing these events has skyrocketed. So here's an example. So the number of users that actually log back in a second time within 7 days, that has skyrocketed actually 73%. And the number of, let's see here, actually, so the number of users that actually convert to paid users, which is important, that actually increased 78% as well. And so there's something going on here, right? So the conversion rate that we just talked about, that was for new users. That was new people landing on the site. But this is people coming back and being more engaged in our product. And so this is raising all sorts of questions that we haven't even begun to dig into and really be able to answer yet. Maybe it might be possible even that the marketing copy now is appealing to a different target of people that are stumbling across our site and signing up now and maybe more serious or have different needs. It'll be interesting to see. So we'll keep you updated on what happens with that and what we find. But that's something that we learned this week. And then as far as a problem that we overcame, so we've been reaching out to a number of partners for the past 6 months now, at least. And primarily a lot within the educational space, the universities, a lot of universities. And so one of those universities in particular actually wanted a pretty large licensing deal from us, or indicated that they wanted one. And that would obviously be great for us because it would get us some money that we can use for development to make our product even that much more amazing, as well as leverage that deal and build some things to get other universities on board. Then all of a sudden they went away. They dropped off the face of the planet. And that was a couple months ago. That was in October. And I had sent them a few emails, just no response. Then this week I sent them another one saying, hey, still interested? If not, no worries, whatever. And he got back to me and we scheduled a meeting for next week. So it seems to be still going forward. He said he's still interested. So that's pretty promising. But I think the lesson here really is to not give up on, if you're pursuing partnerships or pursuing customers or, whoever it may be, and things seem to be going well, and, they might fall off the face of the planet to you and stop responding. Don't give up, right? Keep persisting. Obviously, especially if things seemingly you left them not in a terrible position. So, just power through. I mean, it sucks. It takes longer, obviously, but, it's what you have to do. So don't be discouraged. It can come back around and ultimately work out. So one of the cool things, though, that we've been working with to get all of that outreach organized is this application called Airtable. So definitely recommend checking that out if you're doing a lot of outreach, especially like cold emails or sales calls, whatever they are. Airtable it's awesome. I'm using that for my personal CRM now and getting all of basically everything in organized, tracking each interaction, so I know where I left every single person that I talked to and can keep notes for all of our interactions. But it's great. It's awesome. So something to think about. Something to think about using for you at least. Something we succeeded with. So we did get over 100, and I think it's, last time I checked, 172 views on the Facebook video that we uploaded last week, and that is leaps and bounds more than what we've been getting with YouTube, which I believe hovered around anywhere from 2 to 4. So we're doing pretty good there. And even on YouTube, we actually ended up getting 20 views, and partly because that we included that in our newsletter for that we sent out to our user base for to introduce our new tracking feature. So we are on our way to becoming YouTube famous, I guess you could say, which is obviously not the case, but which actually kind of leads me to my last point. And I didn't want to do these videos in the first place, right? I dreaded actually doing it. I didn't want to be in the public eye or sphere or whatever, really. I just kind of wanted to build something cool and help people solve a problem. And unfortunately, that's just not enough, right? Like, in order to take your company from one stage into another, you need to do things that constantly push your comfort zone and push your boundaries. And, if you're not doing that, you're not taking big enough risks, and you're going to stagnate and probably let somebody else take the opportunity for you. So, yeah, that's something I think that you should all be considering. What is it that scares you? What is it that makes you feel a little uneasy? Doing YouTube videos, public speaking, doing a blog, whatever it is, those are the things that'll probably push your business forward. And they'll have, I at least, this is still early on for us, but I feel like it'll just lead to other opportunities that you wouldn't otherwise get. So that's kind of entrepreneurship in a nutshell, right? Doing the things that scare the hell out of you. Anyways, so that's it for this week. Have a great weekend, everybody, and please, leave some comments or share it with friends. And I'll see you next week.